Hi everyone, it's Bryttannee again. I thought I'd do a quick video so you guys get to learn a little bit more about me, and hopefully that'll help you fill in why I'm doing this channel. So when I was growing up as a kid, I always wanted to be a paleontologist or a bartender or a cosmetologist. So that's kind of stayed true to my personality. I did flirt with law a little bit because I am a bit of a political junkie on the sidelines and love politics and all those types of things, but that's kind of more of a delicious hobby I have, I guess you would say, versus wanting to do like full-time real life. But my love for science, my love for having drinks and throwing parties, and then also just for make people beautiful is stayed true throughout my whole life. When I was in my mom's stomach, she was actually a chemist for White Rain, so I was literally in the beauty business before I was even born. I was in the beauty business in utero, so it is literally like bred into my DNA. And my family's been in the beauty business for 4 generations. So, and on my dad's side of the family, well, both sides of my family, they have been entrepreneurs for ever and ever and ever. So running my own business is really a calling of mine. And I'm so excited to kind of be taking up my business here now on YouTube due to my lupus and my fibromyalgia and a bunch of other things that I have. I'm not really able to work in a normal capacity. So I'm hoping I can be here with all of my past experience and kind of demystify the beauty world and help you guys feel better about yourselves and learn new techniques and really make them your own, so that way you can become your own artist for your own looks. Going back to my family being entrepreneurs, grab this. So this was my great-grandma Yankee's pancake stand. Sorry, it's getting a little bit of a strobe in from the light. But this is from the Minnesota State Fair. And my grandma Mildred's right there, and Grandma Yankee is right there, and let's see, I'm trying to recognize who else is in the photos, but I think that's it. It was called Gibbons and Yankee Pancake Stand, and it was at the Minnesota State Fair. So I have had fierce ladies bred into me. Also, on my mom's side, my great-great aunts, like this was back in nowhere, Wisconsin, when people just did not do that. They were kind of like their own little Lady Gagas of their small towns in Wisconsin, and they made crazy hats and all these types of things, which I love to make costumes as well too. There'll probably be a few videos up about Halloween, how I make costumes and hats, like anything creative. I love it. And then the other person who is kind of my ode to the art world is that Louis Fleur, who a lot of people haven't heard about her, but if you're really into Art Nouveau and turn of the century arts, you know who I'm talking about. She was basically like the Lady Gaga for the 1900s. So she was best friends with Madame Curie. They'd hang around all the time, and she did a lot of really beautiful stage work with art and light and fabric blowing. You can go see, she's part of the Folies Boulangerie. I think I pronounced that right. And so she was like the Lady Gaga of her time. Like, she traveled all over the world and fantastic things. And so she's actually a distant cousin of mine. And so as you can see, I have quite the assortment of backgrounds. And then the rest of my people in my family were basically farmers. So I have a big DIY streak in me, and, you know, like to get my hands dirty and all that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit about my family background. A little bit more about me growing up. I actually grew up competitive dancing. So I started dancing when I was 5 and did tap, jazz, ballet, clogging, which is kind of like country line dancing or river, like Irish dancing, but it's to country music. And I did tap, point, lyrical, pretty much every form of dance except for modern. I will always hate modern dance. There's something in me that bent feet just don't do it for me. I tried to do it in college, and it was just like, after years of learning the proper pointing and technique in ballet, modern is just like, no way. It's just not for me. So sorry if you're a modern dancer. It's just not my style. So I grew up doing that, and I always loved makeup and hair. I would try to do my mom's makeup all the time, and my friends in my little town in Wisconsin I grew up, and like, seriously, we still don't even have a McDonald's. Our first traffic light we got was when I was in college, and I didn't even realize they put one in, and I literally blew through it at like 75 miles an hour because no one's used to stopping. So my group of friends, we would get together in middle school and in high school for all the dances and all those types of things, and we would get ready together. So I ended up doing a lot of people's hair and a lot of people's makeup, and because I hated growing up in a small town and I wanted to leave so bad, I was reading like Vogue when I was, I don't know, in middle school, high school, and so that was kind of like my guilty pleasure, my escape from nowhere, Wisconsin. And through that, I learned about Kevin Aquan, who he is like, my dad's an alcoholic, so he wasn't really around, and so Kevin was kind of like besides like Jesus and going to church, he was like the only positive male role model in my life. So I looked up to him, and when I got Making Faces, it completely changed my life, like completely. Like, I knew that's when God told me, he's like, this is what you're meant to do. You have lots of talents, lots of amazing things you can do, but makeup, it's all about that. And so I read that, and I became obsessed. That's when Urban Decay came out, and Hard Candy. I was never a big Hard Candy fan. I always loved Urban Decay more, probably because it was a little bit more affordable at $20 an eyeshadow versus $60 an eye palette. But I was totally into that, and Stila, and then, Chanel red lipstick and all those things. So that was kind of, my happy place. And did more makeup in college. And then when I graduated, I graduated with a degree from the University of Wisconsin in economics. So I'm, as you can tell, as much as I love beauty, I'm also a super hardcore nerd. And did that and signed up to sell copiers for Canon, and it was really good sales training. I made good money for someone just out of college in 2005, but it was worse than selling used cars. Like, selling copiers is literally worse than selling used cars. And if you last 6 months, you're like, it's like working 20 years some other places. And I lasted for a year and a half. And during that time while I was doing that, I applied for a freelance position for Sugar Cosmetics, which wasn't around. They were the first one to do like the bronzer blusher duo, so they invented that, and then NARS came out with it, and Lorac, and a bunch of other lines. But they were really, really popular in Sephora in kind of like the mid-2000s, and then the brand went away, and now it's been bought by someone, because I just bought another Tropic Tan bronzer at Kohl's. So, and I've seen some of their makeup in Walmart, so it looks like someone bought the brand and then decided to revive it, which was, exciting for me. And so I freelanced for Sugar for a little bit. They offered me a full-time position, but they offered me no vacation time, so that wasn't going to work out, considering that I was living in Chicago then, and not being able to see my family in Wisconsin for a full year was just not going to work out. So I decided to skip that, and I ended up going to work for Merck Pharmaceuticals. So I was a professional sales rep for them, and I sold Fosmax, Singulair, and a couple of other items. So I know a lot about pharmaceuticals. I read my prescribing statements, prescribing information from all my stuff. So I'm really, really into all of the newest skincare items as well too, and the science behind products, because like I was just reading something about how Allergan, who owns Botox, is working on coming out with a cream form of Botox, which is very interesting and very exciting because everyone is all about doing more and more things that are less invasive, less downtime, comfort of their own home. So I will definitely be following that for y'all and keep you posted on that. And then when I worked for Merck, I left Merck and then I went to Career Builder for a little bit. So I did a little bit of recruiting. When I actually got laid off from Merck because we had a couple new drugs come out, and they were supposed to be drugs I was supposed to sell, but the FDA denied one of them, and the Merck canceled the other one because it wasn't any better than any of the drugs currently on the market. So everyone I knew in training class doesn't work for them anymore. So, and I knew 100 people in my training class, so everyone got laid off. And when I had that layoff, because I was still freelancing for Mac at that time, and I was freelancing for Lorac and Aveda. I did freelancing for them and did a lot of their local shows in the Chicago market and salon events. And I just decided to start my own business. So it was Bryttannee Eatin' Beauty, and then it's moved to Be Beauty and back to Bryttannee Eatin' Beauty again. So on YouTube, I just leave it as Be Beauty because my name Bryttannee, Bryttannee, is a little bit harder to spell. So, and I started my own business in Chicago. I did a bunch of runway shows, all those types of things, and still running my business part-time. And then after Career Builder, I got a job with Procter & Gamble Salon Professional. So Procter & Gamble, up until recently, they sold their entire beauty division to Coty Fragrances, which is also a very, very old company. But I worked for P&G Salon Professional. So my client was Sally Beauty Supply. So I sold Clairol, Wella. I worked all the trade shows. I worked with Nick Carojo. I got trained by all of our design team members that do the fashion shows in New York and Miami, LA, all those types of things. So, cut, color hair, everything hair I learned. And so I also worked on Sebastian and Nioxin and a little bit on, well, I don't think they're making a line anymore, but a little bit on some of the higher end lines that we were developing at that time. And I was on the competitive intelligence team. I was a regional sales manager, so I took care of Illinois, Texas, stores in Wisconsin, Indiana, Minnesota, Ohio, Kansas, like everywhere. I was traveling a lot and did all the big hair shows throughout the country. So I learned a ton there about hair and the business part of the beauty business. So I got a ton of experience from that. And when we moved to Texas, I got really sick with lupus and lost my job with P&G. And after that, I kind of really had a hard turning moment because I've been to Mayo Clinic 3 times now, and they told me that, you know, you can never work a normal job again. Any stress will shut your body down. So I've really kind of had to take a hard look at my career and kind of where I wanted to go. And for me, YouTube and Instagram are a way for me to not only be an advocate for people who are sick like me, who have lupus and fibromyalgia, but also just share my passion with the world. And hopefully you all learn some new things and you enjoy my channel. And, you know, I hope to be one of the big YouTubers and Instagrammers someday. So that's kind of why I'm going in that new direction this year. Last summer, I was accepted into the Val Garland School of Makeup, which Val Garland, it's like her and Pat McGrath and maybe a few other people, Tom Peugeot, they do all the big shows. So Val's work is on Vivienne Westwood, and she's mostly in Vogue almost every month. And US as well as other international versions of Vogue, but she only selected 1,000 makeup artists in the world to take part of her class, and I was selected, and it was an absolutely wonderful class. I was the top for the Vivienne Westwood brief, and we worked with NARS and Preen and ID magazine, so it was absolutely fantastic. So I'm hoping I can bring some of that knowledge that I learned from Val, because she is the best of the best, and share some of that with you as well too. So as you can see, I've had a lot of things and done a lot of things, and I was working at P&G, running my business. I also got married. So my husband and I, Eric, we've been together for a total of 12 years, and married for 5. And I had our son Eric, and he's 3, and I have 2 Pomeranians, Luxor and Mandalay Bay, who are laying on the floor right now. They're like the studio guards. So thankfully a squirrel hasn't gone by, because they have not barked at all this whole time while I've shot this video, which is amazing. And so I did all that, and I got an MBA. So I have an MBA from DePaul in brand management and entrepreneurship. So I did a lot of work with social media on there. So I'm definitely going to be talking about some of that on here as well too. So as you can see, it's going to be some business, beauty business, fun things, cocktails and wine, makeup, fashion, jewelry, you know, all the glamorous things in life. And because, you know, you watch the news and it's just awful, and the world definitely needs more glamour. So that's what I hope to bring to you, is just some sunshine in your life. And for those of you who are sick like me, who have devastating chronic conditions, I hope I can give you like a little bit of motivation for you to, you know, take care of yourself better, or, you know, just bring some joy to your day and maybe help the pain not be so bad, and all those types of things. So thank you so much for watching this video, a little bit backstory about myself. So I'm also a Norvell Master Sunless Tanner. You can never be overeducated or overdressed. I firmly believe in that. So I'm a Norvell Master Sunless Tanner. So Norvell is a company that tans all the dancers with Dancing on the Stars. So when Dancing with the Stars goes on tour, I sunless tan them. And let's see, what else can I tell you all? I think that's pretty much it. Basically, I have lots of education and lots of different things, and I hope to share those with you. And I hope you enjoy my channel, and thank you so much for watching. And then if you have any other questions about me, please leave them in the comments below. I would appreciate it. And I'm always looking for inspiration from you to create the content that you want to see. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope your New Year's off to the great start. And if you happen to win the Powerball lottery tonight, holler at your girl. Love you. Bye.